What's up, family? It's Runway Billionaire, and you just tuned into another episode. Come on, y'all know we do not do interviews, we do master classes, and I have a special guest today. I'm super excited about this guest, y'all, because again, we bring all different type of entrepreneurs from different walks of life to different business. But I think that one today will definitely resonate with you. Why? Because she used to be a teacher. So she used to be the one responsible for helping our kids with the math, with the spelling, right? And then she transitioned and made over $2 million with a small following just by making things that we buy for baby showers, things that we buy for family reunions, and all of the things, y'all. And the thing that I'm super excited is because what is the mindset that needs to happen from you to go from a teacher that loves your job, that love kids, to being able to monetize your gifts and get paid your worth. So guys, without further ado, we are going to bring to the stage none other. I'll let her say it, y'all. Let's go. What is up? You boys, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good. How you doing?
I am feeling amazing. Listen, I want the people to know who you are. I want you to tell them what is your name, introduce yourself, and just let them know. Just give them a short rundown because they don't even understand the master class that we're gonna get into today. Talk to 'em.
Hey, y'all. I'm Dr. Kylia Woodley Jones. I am the founder of From Craft to Cash, retired teacher. While I was in the classroom, I made over $2 million as a crafter and as a maker, and now over $3 million. It's been almost a year since I retired, and I'm happy to be here and pour into you today.
I was super excited. Listen, when I tell y'all, hearing her story is one thing, right? But just that name from growing from craft to cash, like she gonna break everything down. And y'all know, again, like I said, we don't do interviews, we do master classes. So we gonna break this master class down. Now, before we get into it, we gotta put the doctor on it. Before we get into it, I need you to take us back to the moment. Like, what type of mindset do you actually have to be in to go from being a school teacher, making whatever you make as a school teacher? I don't know if you want to disclose the air. Like we gotta get into business a little bit, y'all. But when you talk about somebody that go from being a school teacher to going to making $2 million a year, what is that mindset mentally? Before we go into the skill set of how they could go from craft to cash, what does that look like mentally? Like, what do you have to mentally do to get there?
Well, first, I don't like to listen. My mom always say, tell the truth, shame the devil. So when it comes to the mindset part of it, it's not something that I just woke up with. I didn't wake up with the confidence to go make $3 million. It really came from a place of pain. It came from being at work. It came from grinding so hard for everybody else. It came from going to my boss one day, like, hey, boss, I'm missing $40,000 out the account. And he's like, I don't have to explain to you what I do with this money. And that was like, oh, well, why am I working so hard for somebody else? I need to put that effort into my own business, right? So I was selling a little bit on the side, and I just woke up one day and was like, why not me? Right? Like I had freedom from my checks, whereas my bills was getting paid, but I still wasn't free. And I had to really transition and change that mindset and say, if I can show up, if I can go get a doctorate, if I can do all this work for everybody else, I can show up for my business in that same capacity. I can learn how to be a boss. I can learn how to be a CEO, and I'm just as deserving as the next person. So that mindset came from a lot of pain. That mindset came from a lot of service. That mindset came from looking at my children and deciding that I didn't want to spend another day not working for me.
That's good. That's really good. I think a lot of people who will see this interview will relate to that. That they rely on that paycheck, but that's not freedom, right? Like we always talk about, yeah, freedom, retirement. But you was like, yo, I'm going to retire, and I'm going to retire early. And crafting was one of the things that allowed you to do that. So let me ask you, what was the first real money you made from crafting? And like where you was like, oh, this is a proof of concept. This is not something that's just, oh no, I can't do this as a side thing no more. This has to be my main thing. Walk me through that.
Man, listen, I had to unlearn a lot of behaviors. This is for all my smart people. All my people that was smart in school, they got a good grade in math, they was in honors classes, maybe got a master's degree, went to tech school, all the things. Like we're taught how to learn. We're taught to revise, revise, revise. And when it came to my crafting business, it literally was one of those things where like I had an Etsy page and a Shopify page paying them fees every month for years until I finally got serious about it and was like, if you don't launch it, you're not going to make money. So that moment came from me watching people launch over and over and over and release products and be done with products. And then we're on to the next trend and we're on to the next thing. And finally I was just like, you know what? Just put it up there, girl. If it don't sell, it don't sell. And I went from like a $0 month to over $1,000 the following month by following the steps that I already knew how to follow. I just wasn't doing the work. So it really just took off from there. And I think this was maybe 2019. One day I woke up and I had a 40K month just selling. And this was all on Etsy. This wasn't my private label orders or anything. This was all cold traffic, all strangers, less than 500 followers on my business account. And I woke up one day and had over $40,000 in sales. And I was like, oh, wow, I can really, really do this. And my mind automatically said, like, that's like half of a year in my teacher salary, right? And then I was like, man, I got to find a way to double down. Like, if this is what I could do messing around, what could I do if I was intentional about my business?
That's crazy. So basically, your salary that you would make in a year, half of it you made in 1 month. I think that it's hard to go. It's hard. I saw somewhere he was like, "Yo, I love the kids at my job, but just don't come for me in the comments, y'all. Don't come for me." I think it's very hard, no matter how much you are in love with something that you do naturally, still a part of you just, you know what I mean? Like you said, you unlearn and you like, yo, what I make all year, I made it 30 days, half of it. If I do that in the next 30 days, the real freedom is me having 10 months and I had already made my salary for what I was going for. That's very, very hard. So you said something that was interesting, and I don't want to skip over that because I feel like when people watch these type of things, they get so fixated on, oh, I made half of my salary in a year, but they miss the fact that you said like you didn't even have a very large following. When like most people think that they need a big following to make money. This was just part time, spare time. You were still going to school for 8 hours and then doing this on a just walk me like how did you build that small audience of those buyers where you could go from making 1,000 to $40,000?
Honestly, it was family and friends. It was like my family and friends. I was the person. I had the Cricut machine, and then eventually I got my embroidery machine. And before the Cricut machine, I was in. I don't know if y'all remember Kmart, but I was in Kmart buying the iron-on stuff for the t-shirts and cutting it out by hand. So it just literally was like, can y'all please come support my business? I ended up with like a little less than 500 followers. Reels wasn't really a popular thing quite yet, so just posting pictures and stuff. And to be honest, it was very natural relationships. And I think that's what we're missing a lot with marketing. Like everybody runs to the internet for marketing, that's good. Everybody runs to ads for marketing, that's cool. But if you pour money into ads and your ads are trash because you don't know what works organically, it doesn't work, right? So I really had to rely on being personable. I tell people, just like me as a teacher, I show up to serve. So showing up in environments, putting myself out there, getting out there in those streets, like Cardi was passing her album out like in the streets, right? So why can't we get out there and be? I'm not too good for a vending event. I'm not too good to get out there and talk to people. And those relationships just form naturally. You meet 10 people in person that really love what you do, they're going to comment, they're going to support you. And that 10 is going to turn into 20, is going to turn into 100. So that's really how I focused on it. I also didn't really let it become, it wasn't my primary focus. I don't wake up every day like, ooh, I want more followers. I wake up every day like, how can I serve more people? When I left the classroom, it was really hard. I miss my babies so much. But I had to really tell myself, now I get to serve their mothers. Then I get to serve their parents. Then I get to serve the matriarchs that are going to put food on the table and make it possible, even more possible, for their children to follow their dreams. So I guess I don't really focus on that part of it. I just do the work and I know the rest will follow.
No, that's good. That's good. I want to unpack something that you said there because like I think that there's a lot of talented, people, craft makers, Etsy stores, Shopify. Like, it's these people, they got these ideas, right? And they making great stuff. But like, let's just be transparent, they're not making the money, right? So you said something so important when you was like, yo, I'm not focused on like, followers. I'm focused on dollars, if you will. But just walk me through, like, if somebody was watching this interview right now, they talented, but they broke, what would be the first three moves that you would tell them to do? Give us the crap, the cash, and the 3-step process. If they was watching this, they was like, I need some money by tomorrow. Yeah.
Whew, listen, I got a lot to say here. It's a lot to say here. So one thing is get out of the crafting groups. Like one, it's nice to watch. It's nice to know what everybody's doing and everybody's making. But the problem with most crafters is they're so laser focused on what's trending inside of those groups. They don't know what's actually selling outside in the world, right? Another thing with crafters is they're so focused on selling for every holiday, and most times they have full-time jobs or their parents or their caregivers. They're doing so many other things. By the time that they actually get around to their craft business, they don't have time to make, market, and monetize. They're not doing 60-day planning before that holiday comes up, right? And they're not set up with their shop yet. They're not set up with their website. It's not optimized for year-round sales. So that means when Valentine's Day is over, they're probably not set up for Easter. They're not set up for Black History Month. They're not set up for Mother's Day and Father's Day. So they're focused on the wrong things. They should be focused on year-round sales, thinking about things that people buy for all year round. We weddings all year round, birthdays all year round, anniversaries all year round, things that people buy all year round, sports stuff all year round. So some people are very niche, and that's cool. But even within a niche, you have to look at the big picture and really plan for the year. So just my framework in general and what I teach inside of my community to my mentees is I teach them how to make, market, monetize, and measure, right? Mindset goes before all of that. We always want to skip over the mindset part, but that's important, right? But with that make, market, and monetize, we got to move past the make, right? That's just the tip of the iceberg. We got to move past the make. We got to go a little bit deeper. Now that we know what we make, how are we going to market that thing, right? And the biggest thing that crafters do wrong is they think social media is marketing, when social media is just one small part of marketing. Like I would take a school principal over 1,000 followers 7 days of the week. You know what I mean? Like one school principal over 1,000 followers 7 days of the week, because that school principal, that's a stakeholder, and that stakeholder is going to have ginormous impact on my business versus 1,000 followers that I'm tap dancing for that might not even buy, right? So when we think about marketing and what marketing looks like, it's just so much deeper than that. The blueprint is so much deeper than that. You got social media over here, you have reaching out to your stakeholders here, you got pitching over here, you got direct sales over here, you got, generating warm leads. Like there's just so many other things that you could be doing to grow your business in your neighborhood, with your chambers, with the local sports teams, with the local schools. No matter what you sell, like where are you popping up where your audience is going to be, right? So that is what we go.
Okay, moving up. She said, hold on. She said she got a lot. And she did have a lot. I don't want to stop you from giving the game. I don't want to stop you from giving the game. But you I fantastic plan. Hey, girl, you're saying it. Now, like, I just want to start, I want to unpack one important thing, because you was like, yo, like, social media is over here. And I think that a lot of people put social media in their view and they actually block them from all the other opportunities that you talk about. Like you said, yo, I would rather one principal than a follower, right? Like, it's because that principal probably, what I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, has access to so many students, so many parents, so many resources at that school, that, hey, they're probably going to book you for every event that they have at the school, pet rally, different grades and all that. Like, that's going to be like almost like a repeat. Like, you just said it, and I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't even thinking on that level. But when you said it, I was like, that's 6 figures a year right there, just from one school, like one connection. Then you went over here and you was like, hey, events, you say you made your source of income, your $40,000 was from friends and family, from the cell phone contacts that was in like my cell phone. Hey, I can make this thing for you. So like, all right, go ahead. It just I had to like
Yeah,
unload. I had to
there's so
unpack
many
that
avenues, and that's a
because
lot of the
people
stuff that
were
we talk about because it's things we don't think about that's right in front of our face. So even just to elaborate 2 seconds on the school thing before I go to the next thing, but your school, you got your school principal, right? Your school principal talks to the middle school principals. Most times they have the same logo, the same thing going on. Talks to your elementary principals, right? Then when you're supporting a lot of the seniors and their senior stuff, a lot of them are going to college or trade school. So what's next for them? And now you've become everybody's resident crafter for the people that you serve if you serve at a high level, right? The next thing is I don't try to do everything myself. And I think that's where crafters go wrong. They want to design everything themselves. They want to make everything themselves. If they don't make it, they're not looking for private labelers and partners to be able to offer full service, right? So another thing with marketing is being able to be full service for your client, right? If you wanted some stuff done, you do a lot of events, conferences, all the things. I'm not going to come to you and be like, hey, Runway, I make t-shirts. I'm gonna come to you and be like, hey, Runway, let me make this conference a lot easier for you. We do X, Y, and Z. We got you on the tees, we got you on your embroidery, we got you on your signage. What else you need so I can make this easier for you? Just give me the list of things that you think that you need, and I'm gonna have my design team put some mock-ups up and I'll get them over to you in a few days. Right? Also, if you wanna sell them in-house and you wanna have a merch store, let me be your private labeler. Throw a merch store up on your website, and I'll do all the fulfillment for you on the back end.
Ooh, you talking. You talking.
Right? So now we're looking at these things for a bunch of different industries. We talked about schools already, but what about coaches and consultants and small businesses and travel agents and doctors' offices and people that sell scrubs? Think about the healthcare industry and how big that is. So just every single person is a walking brand for somebody, either their own business or someone else's business. So there's just so many different markets that crafters are so focused on making, you know, I don't want to be insulting, but Dollar Tree crafts, which is cool, but we're not taking it all the way home, and that's a problem, right? And I'm only talking to my CEO crafters. I'm only talking to my CEOs. I'm not talking to my hobbyists. Don't y'all come for me. Don't y'all come for me in the chat, okay? If you are a hobbyist crafter, you make whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. But if you are a CEO crafter and you're working to grow, the blueprint is so much bigger than that. You need that framework so that you're not only making things that you see other crafters making in the crafting groups. It's just that simple.
That's right. Now while we right there, let's talk about the difference between the crafter and the CEO crafter. Like break that down for me. Like for somebody that's watching this, because you started out again, I would assume as a hobbyist, as you say, right? And you turned into the CEO, which I could tell, because I mean, just the blueprint that you laid out so far, I could already tell this is 6 and 7 figure type of thinking and mindset. And you said make monetize. What's the framework that you put it in measure? Okay, so how do we measure if we are a hobbyist and we just a crafter, or we are working our way to a CEO crafter? Talk to me.
So it's just a different mindset. So I just grew up with my parents, and my parents were entrepreneurs, and I looked at them and I watched them hustle. You weren't going to out hustle my parents, and a lot of us can say the same thing, right? But it was our job to pick that load up and go bundle it with strategy now, right? So that we can make sure that we hold on to our money, because I used to think that my crafting business was going to grow because, oh, if I only made 100 t-shirts this month, but that's probably 100 different designs that I have to make with 100 different clients. So I had to like really restructure. And when it comes to the monetizing and measuring part, I also had to go back and evaluate and take my feelings out of it, because my business doesn't have feelings and my business doesn't care about my feelings, right? So I had to go back and look at those profit centers and say, here are the things that I sell. These are the things that make me the most money. So maybe I need to pour gasoline on these. I also now, as a hobbyist crafter, I'm gonna make what I want to make, how I want to make it. I'm gonna sell on Cash App. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do on the back end. on the CEO side, I'm thinking, well, how could I take some of this stuff off on me? And where is my energy best placed, right? Especially when I was working full time and in the classroom, I said, I'm a great designer, but instead of having to do all of my designing, maybe I should just hire one VA and train them how to design like I design. And that turned into me having a team of a dozen people that help with fulfillment, that help with orders, that help with fast pitches, that make sure that I'm always ready for that next pitch or that next sales thing. So it's just really it's part mindset shift and part action shift as well.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So I gotta ask you a question. I got y'all, like viewers, I got y'all. When you had your big revenue month, right? What were you selling?
So this was from my Etsy shop. So it was a lot of stuff going on. So I was selling, and this was interesting. So it wasn't just my shop, it was my shop and other shops. So I was selling cute embroidered stuffed animals. That's what got me to my first big month. And then I expanded from there and was like, okay, I need to offer some bundles here. And then on the back end, I was doing a lot of private labeling. So I was pitching to businesses that didn't have a merch line but had big audiences that really should have had a merch line, and I was offering 100% fulfillment for a profit for a cut of it. And those things combined, because it's not necessarily always, I always encourage people to start with the one thing, but once you've mastered that one thing, it's okay to add another stream within that business. Like there are multiple streams of in a crafting business that exist there.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. So she's running a little Walmart, y'all. See, this why you gotta have a CEO brain, you know?
And you know what? I gotta say this. It was really weird because when I say like y'all gotta stay on these crafting groups, like the crafting groups are there, but it's only one part of it. So you gotta go add so much more to that. I was stuck in the wrong place for so long. I wasn't allowing the market to tell me what it wanted because I was so busy trying to force on it what I thought the market wanted. And then when I found out and those ching chings kept coming in and my phone kept going on, I was like, this what y'all want? And it's what they wanted, right? So it really is about knowing your customer, knowing your avatar, and making sure that you're putting their voice and their desires before everything else. So that is definitely a big part of it.
And at what point, like out of that, making the money, feeling hype, like wow, like I mean, I just made half of my salary in a month. But at what point did you realize that, okay, like I can't keep hustling like this, like how my mom and my dad, used to do. I can't keep doing this. I need to put a system in place. Like, what was that moment that you was like, okay, no, I gotta get some stuff together. I need to train a VA to use Canva, how I use Canva. Like at that, like what was that moment? Caught some.
There were lots. There were a lot of straws that broke the camel's back. It wasn't just one time. It was literally like,
Okay. Tell me that last one.
how many nights are you going to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning when you got to wake up at 5 for work, right? Like it really was about wanting to have, I knew that I could have it all, but I also knew that I couldn't do it all. So I wanted to have time to care about myself and my body. My mom had a stroke. I was a caregiver, plus my kids, plus I was working on my doctorate, plus I was trying to be a good wife. So all the things at the same time, and they were just piling up, and I realized that I had time for everything and everyone but me. I realized that my weekends were so occupied, so I really had to apply some pressure, and I had to write down, like I sat down and I wrote out, like, here are all the things that my business requires, right? And if I had employees for every single one of these roles, how much would that employee be making an hour? And then I had to look at it and say, this is what I'm worth right here. Like I know my worth. I know what I could do if I focus on these higher end activities, if I focus on working on my business, not just in my business. And then I had to go and I had to replace myself in some of those roles. And ultimately, even still, my goal is to fire myself from a lot of these roles, right? And even when I was a teacher, I mean, the craft house hasn't been around for, it's just been almost 2 years now. So I was still working full time and the craft house was open and I had somebody here working and I came over when I got off of work. My VAs were working during the day while I was teaching during the day. And it really just started with one person at a time and me growing that team from there. And I guess the most important part of this, everybody thinks that nobody can do it better than them, and that is the most incorrect thing ever.
Then I think everybody struggle with that, especially when you're a person when you have talent and you're not getting your worth. It's like you feel like you gotta hold on to every dollar that's connected to that talent, right? Like I heard that. I think that's just one of those things that you just carry as being a person of talent. Well, you gotta relinquish some of that, you know what I mean? Some of those skills to other people so that way you get like Nike don't just build 1,000 sneakers in an hour. No, it's manufacturers. It's a team putting that thing together. And it sounds like you would say, hey, if I don't figure out how to put systems in place, how to hire and delegate, I'm just going to burn myself out. And then essentially that 40,000 is going to feel good, but I'm not going to be able to continue to keep making it to where though I can stop eventually for my job. So what is your favorite like the out of your whole system that relieve you from burnout, that allow you to fire yourself? What is that one thing that's like, man, I'm so glad I did this. Like I'm so glad, or I'm so glad I had this in place. Like what is that one thing that you like, whew, oh my God, life is so good because I had this. What is that one system or that one thing that you have in place that has you
That's
like,
too hard. That's not a fair question. Okay, I can't. I really can't. I'm not about to be up here lying to people like it's just one solution. But I would say, I'll give you a few. One, automations, right? Like we got to take advantage of the automations. We got to take advantage of it. We got to make sure that our business is working when we're not. My business is working when I'm with my kids. My business is working when I'm at work, when I'm teaching classes still. My business is working if I'm on vacation, if I'm at a football game. My business is working because the automations are working for me, right? Another thing I would say outside of the automations is making sure that our websites and our SEO is worked out real good, that it looks good. A big part of that too is team. Even if it's only one person supporting on the team, it really, really goes a long way. And the mindset shift I had to make there was, I guess maybe, do I want 50 or 60% of $100,000, or do I want 20 or 30% of $1 million a year, right? Because we're sometimes looking at the wrong things, and I really had to shift, and that took coaching. Listen, I went and got a lot of coaching, to get me in that mindset. Because I was like, no, I'm going to keep my business small. I'll keep way more money. And my coach was like, that is the worst mindset ever. So it took a lot of that to working out the numbers, looking at the numbers, and really also shifting to think it's not just all about keeping the money in my pocket. Every single penny that I spend out is giving impact in my community, is giving impact and supporting other people's families as well. So those were some of the mindset shifts. You got to let go of some of it. You can have it all, but you can't do it all.
no, that's a fact. I read this statistic. It said 70% of business never hire a single employee. And which is crazy because it's like, you went from this very, very small concept, right? Of like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do this part-time, I'm gonna leverage family and friends, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, scale this up. And thank God, like it went to $2 million, like which is crazy, right? So like,
Three,
dang,
a little more than three now.
okay, three, we gonna update it. You know what I mean?
It was we were over two. I just always say that because I like to be transparent too. When I was still full time in the classroom.
100%. And not only were you able to generate that type of revenue, you was able to build what's called the crack house from that revenue to be able to have a staple of the business that you built, which I feel like is amazing, by the way. Okay, so the thing I want to kind of get to is somebody that's on that path that has never hired their employee. They never say, yo, I want to let that go. They never say, like, because we were just having this conversation, was like, okay, cool, like if you want to pay yourself 100,000 a year, which like I'm like with the make, market, monetize, measure. If you're measuring these things right, I'm learning, y'all. I love your boy over here. So when you measure these things and you measure the type of salary that you want to pay yourself, because the ultimate goal is replace your salary, right? If you want to make $100,000 a year, how much do it cost you to do these things? Send the emails, right? Create the website. Like some of those things can get delegated. Where over 70% of businesses not hiring a single employee. How do you expect to be successful, right? To not have somebody to back you up, to not have somebody to support you, right? Like it's just, it has to be there. So question I want to ask you in regards to that, if someone has 30 days to make $3,000 from crafting, what should be the two things that they should focus on?
Number one would be pitching. So I would, yes, of course you want to be on social media and all that good stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
even still, I still make way more money pitching than I do with a decent sized audience now, right? So number one would be pitching.
When you
And when,
say
when you say
pitching,
pitching,
when you say
when you say
pitching, what
pitching,
does
what,
that
what does
mean
that
for the
mean
people?
for the
So
people?
they
So
can be
so they can
super
be
clear.
super clear.
So reaching out directly to the people you want to sell to. So a lot
Mhm.
of times I'll put together presentations, and when I say I used to do all the presentations myself, but that slowed me down, right? So I had to hire one person, and then that person turned into, a team of a dozen, but now they support me in those pitches. So I would recommend y'all, we got AI now. Get onto Claude, get onto Chatty and say, like, hey, where are all the small businesses in my zip code? My zip code is 19320. What are all of the schools surrounding 19320? And I would make a list. And from that list, I would start putting together some presentations, and I would start sending some emails, and I would start sending some video messages, and I would start being very personable. I might even make some samples and drop them off myself, especially for the local businesses that I already support, right? So I would start pitching, and I definitely would make sure that I pitch to, I would make a list. Who are all the people that I support every day, right? I would look at my credit card statement for the last 2 months and say, what are all the businesses that I support, especially if they were not like mega businesses? And I would go and say, like, hey, I love your products and stuff. One thing I noticed is that you guys probably could use some new t-shirts now, or I would love to do some embroidered polos for you, or here are some packages I came up with, or did you ever think about adding a merch line because it would really take your branding to the next level? So here's some mock-ups of some things that you could sell in your shop. I'll do all the heavy lifting for you. I'll even help you with the socials so that you can easily push it, but let's make you some more money. You know what I mean? So I would really focus on pitching, and that would be number one for sure.
Man, that was some gas. Man, listen. Listen, if you can't make $3,000 with that, I don't know what to tell you. But pitching, like you gotta be able to make offers, y'all. Like we are in the type of world now where people forget they getting distracted by a lot of things. So you have to keep it at top of mind, right? Like thinking about these things. 9 times out of 10, what I notice is when we reach out to people or we post content or we email, we send text messages, however we tend to do business. When we reach out to people, they say, oh, you know what? I was just thinking about that, but I just haven't had the opportunity to get around to it. And you'd be surprised, like the response that you get from reaching out to people, because that's likely been a thing that's on their mind, but they just haven't had the opportunity to either connect back with a person that they talked to, have somebody explain it the way that she just explained it to you. Like, hey, you want to take this off of your plate because it feel like it's another thing that they got to do. So I hope y'all taking notes. Note taking is money maker. So I hope that's
Yep, and I'm so glad you said that because that was my number 2, follow-up, right? Most times we pitch or we send a text message or we send an email and we don't say nothing after that. It takes several touches before that buyer will buy from you. I think a lot of times crafters and makers, they just assume and then they get mad, right? They get so mad when they see, that someone that they know bought some customs from someone else. You have to make it very clear every day what you do so your audience can support you. You have to follow up and remember that people are busy. You have to follow up and remember people are not constantly checking their email. So I would say that too. And then there's just so many things. Like, I mean, this is all the things we coach about in the community, but I would talk about loss leaders and what inventory they can go ahead and get rid of, and making sure that they're using that stuff to get people on their list. And then most importantly, planning so that those customers can buy from them again. Because if they serve at a high level, those customers are going to be customers over and over and over again. So I would even be focused more on that than I would be on acquisition of new clients.
Wow. No, that's good. That's good. She ain't just get y'all to play about who could start making money now. If you got some inventory sitting right now, you need to go work that phone. You need to follow up. Or you got some money that you need to make up. And I know how that could be. Okay. No, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, and I even give you I got an example of this one. Like, one of my clients came to me last year, and it's almost that time. She came to me last year around Mother's Day, and she's like, "Listen, Kai, I am flat broke. I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave the program. I need more money. Like, what can I do like right now? I know you done told me all the things I can do, but I ain't doing. But what can I do right now because this has to happen?" And I was like, "Well, tell me, what do you have in inventory?" So she just went down the list. She literally, her garage is an entire storage. So she just had a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, let's just go with the t-shirts. Let's just go with the t-shirts. I was like, I want you to take these t-shirts. I want you to we're gonna get 4 different designs together. We got the designs together, sent them off to my design team, got designs real fast, and I want you to sell these t-shirts for $15. And she was like, $15? I don't sell t-shirts that low. My t-shirts is $25. I said, didn't you just tell me you was broke? I was like, all these t-shirts, you're just so much is sitting on your shelves right now. You have all this inventory for what? You're paying electric for these t-shirts, you paying, gas for these t-shirts, you paying water for these t-shirts. Listen, you t-shirts need to pay some rent. We need them out so you can do something else with that space. So she was like, okay, fine. We put together a little quick social run with her. And then also, she was like, I'm not about to text her by my phone. I said, if you can't text somebody on your phone and just let them know and share with them what it is you have going on and say, hey, just let me know if you're interested. Here's the link. Or if you know somebody else, please help me out and share it. They don't need to be in your phone. Unless it's a professional contact like your boss or something, you got to get out your own way. So long story short, she went and we got the stuff up on her website. She got the designs down. She sold the t-shirts for $15. We went over the profit margin. She was still very profitable. The t-shirts cost her about $2.02 per shirt. The transfers cost about another dollar. So really her cost for the actual physical was $3. Even if she wanted to be paid on time, it's a 10-second press, right? So this was less than $5. So for every t-shirt, she still profited 10. And I think when we were done, she sold 172 shirts. But we didn't stop there. All those customers that bought those t-shirts, we said, all right, Father's Day is around the corner. If y'all buy right now, we're going to let you do the $15 deal for Father's Day too. But after this week, the shirts will be back at $25, right? And we also introduced some new designs, and the new designs were 25 because they weren't part of the sale. And she made even more on the Father's Day pre-sale than she made on the last minute Mother's Day shirts, right? So it really is just about knowing your audience, what they want. Once they love you and you give them some good merch, they don't care how much it costs. What you got next, sis? Like, what's up? What's next?
I'm sorry, I was just being nosy. I was over here, I was doing some math. I was doing,
I
I was
see.
doing, I was doing,
Go ahead. Go
I was
ahead. Do the
doing.
math.
I had to quit some numbers and I had to do some math. I had to see where we was at. No, I love that's crazy. It's crazy that again, I want to put context to what you said because you like, yo, the t-shirt was $2.02. The transfer was $1. And she all in $3.02. The press is 10 seconds and she wanted to be comped on time. Cool. Let's just say $5 max. Let's say she had somebody else doing it and it was costing her $5 to produce a t-shirt because somebody else was pressing it for 10 seconds. She still profited $10, which is crazy. And she sold 172 shirts. What? Like when I think about that, I think about it's crazy. How could you not? And again, guys, this is just t-shirts. Like this woman on the screen is showing you how to do this with tumblers, hats, scarves, jackets. Like if you could make it, you could sell it.
Outsourcing. That's my favorite part of it. Outsourcing all the backdrops, all the banners. warm-ups, uniforms, custom sneakers. Like there's just so much out there that we're not taking advantage of. You don't even have to touch everything to make money in this
That's
industry.
crazy. That's crazy. Y'all. So what I want to do at this time, um, you do these free trainings where you take somebody through the course of either 90 minutes or a couple of days, when you walk through the process of taking them from crap to cash, taking them from showing them how to make, showing them how to market, showing them how to monetize, showing them how to measure, and you take them over the course of days, and it's totally free. So guys, if you are in this, like in this space, right? Whether you're making t-shirts, you're making customs, backdrops, baby showers, like if you are in this arena and you like, yo, I need to make sure that I go to the next level. I'm tired of making these things and being underpaid. Like she gave you guys a core blueprint on how y'all go make some money right now. If you make anything, or you know how to delegate something, you know how to outsource something, there should be no way that you can't take this interview and go put one-on-one and make two. Okay? So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to go check the description in the chat right now. Make sure that you go click it. Make sure that you go sign up and just come. It's 100% free. You guys will have the opportunity to really allow her to pull back the curtain and literally show you the step-by-step process so you guys can get paid what you're worth. You guys could profit how you guys need to profit, and you guys could go from crack to cash. Now, I got one last question if you got time before we go. I have to ask. If it's one thing, somebody watching this interview, because I know it's going to be somebody that's watching this interview, that's watching you, they're inspired by your story, they're inspired by your mission, they're inspired by everything that you do. And they're sitting in the same seat that you were sitting in, where you was in the classroom and you was like, yo, I got this gift and I got this talent, but I don't like, I just don't know where to start. So what I like to do this session where we give the viewers something that they could go do today. We gave them a 1 or 2, something, but I want somebody to be able to watch this. I'm sorry, and I said interview, masterclass. That they go watch this masterclass and they say, hey, I can go execute on this today. So if somebody was watching this today, what could they do to leave this interview and they say, okay, you know what? I could go make my first dollar. I go make my first dollar. Execution. Just give me a 60-second execution plan that they could go do right now after they watch this masterclass.
Absolutely. Put the website up and send people the link. And it's really that simple. Don't overthink the website. Don't wait for it to be perfect. We're not waiting for the perfect banner or thumbnails or reason or season. Put something on your website. There's no minimum that you have to have on your website. I was selling with one thing on my website, and you just have to put the thing up there and go sell it and go get it. And just remember that confidence is built, and it's not something that you're going to attain if you're not doing the work to get there, right? So go sell the things and you'll build your confidence in the process. Don't wait for the thing to be perfect. You'll learn how to perfect it during the journey. You won't even know how to perfect it if you don't know what your audience wants. So get that listing up, send out the link, and go get it.
That's it, y'all. Just execute. Like, don't overcomplicate the process. Like, I remember we launched t-shirts for my son for his birthday. And we had no t-shirts, y'all. We just had a mock-up of the t-shirt on the website. And we would go to the barber shop and he had a little sales pitch. He'd go and he had a little sales pitch. They was like, all right. And they was like, well, where the shirt at? He like, oh no, you buy it and then I'll send it to you. Right? And we were just pre-selling. But bro made a little $600 in a day. And we took that money, did the fulfillment, and then he mailed everything out. So like, again, like she said, y'all, get the website up. You can use AI, right? You go get you a website made like literally in seconds, but just go execute on there. This is, again, somebody that's not only changed her life or retired from her job, helped thousands of business professionals, women and men, go and take their skill set and learn how to monetize them and get paid their worth. And I got to put an emphasis on their worth, because when she show you how to make the products, that's just one aspect of it. A lot of people are making products, but when she show you how to market the products, that's another aspect of it. And she gave y'all so much game here. But the other thing is how to monetize the products and how to get paid your worth. And the only way you could do that is if you measure. So I hope I did a great job today. Kay, I appreciate you being my host today. I appreciate you giving the people value. I appreciate you sharing your story, your message, your blueprint. I hope that they found value. Again, make sure that you guys click the link below in the description. Come see her. Wow, I'm telling you, it's like when you see her share her screen and you see her really break it down, I'm telling you, like, I'm leaving so much money on the table. So is there anything that you want to share with the audience before we go?
Yeah, I guess I just want to say, one, pull up on this. We're going to have a really good time. But two, I just want you to remember that winners and losers have the same goals. So it's really up to
Mm.
us to do the work. And we are here to show you how to do that work because we all deserve to be millionaires.
And I affirm that. I call that over y'all life. So listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all. This is another masterclass. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know your feedback in the comments. Let us know how we did. Let us know what you're going to execute on. Make sure you follow her journey, tap in. Make sure you check out the links. Again, we're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. I'll see y'all on the next one. Let's go.